First off, Joe DeJulio, quit talking about people that weren't even in the live. Second off, don't block my pages before you talk shit about me. Also, you gonna have to get that name right next time, stalker. But anyway, you could tell the truth about this story and stop using people's statements that weren't even there, that were his family members, right? The aunt's the one that called for help from the officer, and 11 witnesses, the aunt, and the police officers, all of whom who were actually physically present, all agreed to these things. And they proved that some of these things were lies, like he held his head underwater and all this. If his lungs are filled with water, he wouldn't have been able to keep fighting. See at the bottom it says 11 witnesses? Here, let me get it for you again. They said an ex-partner, not his most recent ex. Would that be you, Joe? You know, because you were grooming him since he was, what, 17? And that's going off of the timeline that you said. You would have been, what, 26 at the time? You see where they said his death was an excusable homicide because of his violence during the arrest? You see how after they even got him handcuffed in a weird position, he was still using his elbows and his head to hit the police officers? And the only thing they got out of that lawsuit, the family who signed the NDAs, was because the one officer who deployed the taser refused to use the barrier to give him CPR, because it was at that point, and only at that point, that they were notified that he might have HIV because of an ex-partner. Nobody knew that he was LGBTQIA before any of that. Didn't you also tell a black man who's part of the community that he had to put being LGBTQIA above being black in America because he would be off for being gay before he would for being black? Yeah, Joe DeJulio, you're a racist. Don't think we forgot anything about you. But what you're not going to do is lie on and attack other people while using a story of a white man who attacked the police officers for 10 minutes after striking his aunt and she called for help from the cops. 10 minutes. You know they suffocated George Floyd in less time than that, right? And he was only accused of using a fake $20 bill. He didn't fight the police. He didn't beat them up. So you tell me, name one BIPOC person that ever got that kind of grace. And I'll take the aunt and the 11 witnesses that were there that gave their statements fresh that day over any lies you got to tell. You using the statements from his sister and his brother who weren't even there. Get out of here. Your whole friend group's a bunch of groomers and predators and target children, and, well, they're worse than anybody they try to attack, so carry on.